I just got fired from the Fairmont Jasper Park Lodge.
My kids and I got escorted off of an airplane the other day by the RCMP.
It's the women's bathroom. It's 2024, baby. We're all trans.
I don't feel comfortable with the school teaching my children about homosexuality and transgenderism.
Allegedly, P. Diddy has been trading fame and fortune for sexual favors from young boys, and I just wanted to say, hi P. Diddy, my name is David DeWolf. I'm 17 years old.
I don't understand who is good or bad. Kind of look like Rihanna after Chris Brown, right?
Wow, I was totally ready to be on this guy's side against big corporate or whatever, but with his personal context, I'm willing to bet he gave corporate plenty of good reasons to have him gone. This video contains subject matter which may be inappropriate for some viewers. Social media apps make it quite easy to weaponize sympathy. People feel good about defending others who they think are being mistreated. But if we don't critically evaluate these people that we are supporting, we could be unintentionally platforming bigotry, and I argue that is exactly what is happening here. Today, we are exploring the story of David DeWolf, a pianist. Shut up, David, I'm not 12. A pianist who gained significant traction on TikTok after allegedly being let go from his position at the Jasper Park Lodge. Millions cry out for justice, but what if the story is not that simple? Before we offer support or outrage, we have to ask ourselves, who are we supporting and what do they stand for? Hello, you stunning woman on the go. Welcome back to my channel. My name is David Day, and you are watching Dismantling Hate, the series where we find some hateful online rhetoric. We watch it together as I offer some sharp analysis, unapologetic resistance, and just enough comedy to keep us from losing our minds. Too late for me, I've already lost my mind. Now, there's a pretty good chance that you came across the TikTok video that I came across along with 5.6 million other folks on April 21st when this video was first published. We have newspaper articles, we have Reddit threads, we even went into Facebook. If you stay and you like this video, you better subscribe to my channel, because girlies, I went into Facebook. There was no new information in there, but I needed to make sure. Nothing good happens on Facebook except AI Jesus. So let's get into it. Dismantling Hate starts now. So here's the story. David DeWolf, who transitioned from construction work to pursue his passion for music, was hired for a 6-week engagement at the Jasper Fairmont Lodge. Initially, he received positive feedback from guests, with many enjoying his performances and even children joining in to sing along. However, dun dun dun. He reported receiving conflicting instructions from management, being encouraged to perform popular songs with vocals at first, then later told to limit his role to background piano music. The situation escalated when a group of children gathered around the piano, as they do, singing along to well-known songs like famous astronaut Katy Perry's Roar.
And I'm not just one thing.
Can I get away?
And Disney's Let It Go. Despite the guests' enthusiasm, DeWolf was informed the next day that his services were no longer required, with the reason cited that he was not hired to do piano karaoke. DeWolf shared his story on TikTok on April 21st, 2025, where his videos resonated with many, amassing over 5.3 million views. The public response was largely supportive, with some individuals expressing their disappointment with the lodge's decision and even canceling reservations in protest. While DeWolf expressed his frustration, he also clarified that he didn't hold the entire Fairmont brand accountable, attributing the decision to specific management at the Jasper location. In the aftermath, DeWolf reported receiving numerous job offers and messages from other artists who have faced similar challenges, highlighting broader issues within the entertainment and hospitality industries. He emphasized the importance of standing up against unfair treatment and bringing such stories to light. And I think a reason that a lot of people latched onto this story is because it does feel good to support people, specifically when it has to do with the entertainment and hospitality industries. You know, showbiz, baby! It's dangerous and it's taking advantage of people. And while that still remains true in many cases, I think David DeWolf might have latched onto this archetype of disenfranchised entertainer than maybe was appropriate if he was being authentic or if he was being a good person. And you might be listening and going, David, wow, he was fired for helping kids sing along with him at the piano. He sounds like a male Mother Teresa. How can you call him a terrible person? Well, my darlings, don't you know this is Dismantling Hate? Come on now. So there has to be some sort of discrimination, hateful nonsense garbage in this situation. And let me tell you, there is. So before we get into David's TikTok and really start to dig around in there, there's a few things that I want to lay out here right in the beginning. We need to clarify the facts. So everything is from David DeWolf's perspective and from his account, and the hotel side of the story is completely missing. There are hundreds of bad reviews on TripAdvisor, Expedia. Go to any social media website right now and type in Jasper Fairmont Lodge Piano. You will get inundated with so many things. Even on old videos about this hotel, like 2 years old, all of the top comments are just, oh, but they fired the piano player. Oh, they're awful. And they're like referencing the manager by name. It's messy. It's messy. The group mentality. The next thing is we need to be constructive. So even if you watch this video and you think David DeWolf, he's so awful, he's so homophobic, that's terrible. Let's not make this a petting zoo, because I think the best thing to do in a situation like this is to enjoy this kind of drama passively and just like move on. You're never going to think of this again, but we get to spend this hour of time together and just have a little kiki, you know, like just us girls. That's what this should be. The next thing, platforms like TikTok can amplify individual stories for better or for worse. Sometimes it's very useful for people who are experiencing hardship, but to a lot of folks, negative attention is still attention, and all press is good press, which I don't agree with. Some people do. And the last thing is we need to have empathy while listening to this, even though that it's very difficult, and it kind of goes with the last thing I said, but behind every viral story are real people affected by the ensuing factors of all of this virality. There are people at the Jasper Park Lodge who are receiving threats for things that they might not necessarily be responsible for, which I think is some unhinged behavior that needs to go checked by people. Like maybe you need to go touch grass. If you watch a video on TikTok and it prompts you to go message somebody across the world who you don't know a threat, or even worse, a death threat, put the phone down. Okay. Let's move on. I was gonna say this is gonna be long and painful, but that doesn't set me up for success pitching my own video to you. So this is the first video that started it all. I'm not going to cut anything out because I don't want you to miss any piece of context. It will take you probably precisely 8 minutes to figure out what's going on here. Okay, here we go.
I just got fired from the Fairmont Jasper Park Lodge. This is what. All right, so I was hired to be their piano player for like a month and a half. I was doing a residency. So basically what I was told is, okay, we want you playing in like the grand foyer, and you're going to come in, you're going to play, we want you to play and sing top 40s music, classic rock. We want you to get people moving, just make a great atmosphere for people to enjoy themselves. There's a little bar there that people can sit down. There's going to be kids running around. Awesome, I can do that. That's like my jam. Let's go. So, first day goes by, I'm playing songs, people are clapping after all of my songs, I'm getting a lot of applause, people are like nodding their heads, singing along, tapping their feet, having a great time. An hour and a half into my show, this little manager dude comes up to me and he's like, hey,
little manager,
no more singing, just background piano music. I was like, all right, so I just played piano music. All right, so I did the same thing on Thursday, Friday, Saturday comes along. I'm playing on Saturday and the place is just packed full of families, and this little girl and her brother come up and they're like, yo, can you play Roar from Katy Perry? I was like, bet, I got this. So I start playing Roar from Katy Perry. And these kids, they start singing along, and they're singing because they know the words, they love it, it's their favorite song, right? Other kids see this and other kids start running up. Next thing you know, I got like 40 kids surrounding the grand piano, like they were everywhere. Their parents are all videotaping, they're making requests, and they're all singing the songs. I'm playing everything, they're singing along. Everyone's having a great time. After each song, like everybody's going wild, they're clapping their hands. Everyone's having so much fun. Talked to the manager afterwards. He's like, yeah, man, that was awesome. A bunch of staff came up to me and they're like, man, you are such a breath of fresh air. We have not had anything like this in this resort. This is what this place needs. Like, this is what Easter, this is what family, this is what vacation is all about. I made so much money in tips. Like, the customers and the people who were there loved it. It was awesome. And all I didn't do anything other than I was told to. I was just told, play pretty piano music. So I played pretty piano music. I wasn't singing. They were singing. I didn't encourage them to sing. I didn't say, hey, kids, sing the word. No, they just started singing. What was I supposed to do? Tell them, hey, kid, don't sing? Anyways, everything went off awesome. The next day, I'm getting ready. I'm getting dressed. I'm getting ready to go do my next show the following night. I receive a phone call from my booking agent saying that the Fairmont Jasper Park Lodge no longer needs my services. Pack your bags and leave. You weren't hired to do piano karaoke and they don't want you there anymore. And I mean, yeah, I'm a little bit bitter because, like, I wasn't doing piano karaoke. It's not my fault. Like, what am I supposed to do? Bitter. Somebody comes up and hears me playing a song that they recognize and sing along. Am I supposed to stop the middle of the song and say, guys, you're not allowed to sing? Like, what is that? Come on. This is like the Fairmont freaking Lodge. Like, this is one of the greatest hotels in Canada. And they promote themselves as like a destination for families. You would think that this would be something that they would want. Actually, a bunch of staff members, they asked me last night, they're like, why aren't you playing tonight? And I told them why, and they dropped their jaw, and they're like, that is absolutely ridiculous.
Is that a
You're
cow?
the best thing we've ever had in here. I've been here for 6 years, and I've never seen anybody react to a musician like that. Like, you're awesome. Another lady came up to me, and she was like, I used to be the manager of recreation here 20 years ago, and you are exactly what I would have hired. You're amazing.
A lot of anecdotes.
So, like, I'm just wondering, like, what do you guys think? I honestly don't think I did anything wrong. I did exactly what they asked me to do. Nobody came up to me and said, hey, we want you to do this a little bit differently. Like, I've turned down weddings. I've turned down other work. I quit my day job to go and do this because I thought this was such a neat and exciting opportunity. And this is the thanks that they give me. So, I mean, I was booked through a company called Seagull Entertainment. And, they're going to let me know on Tuesday.
More on that.
A little bit more, but I signed a contract, a 2-month contract, and I'm praying that they pay me out for it because it doesn't say anywhere in the contract they can cancel it because they don't want kids singing along to my music. So, I don't know. Let me know in the comments. What do you guys think? Do you think that this is kind of unfair? I swear I'm telling the whole story too. I'm not even making stuff up. This is exactly what happened. My jaw was on the floor. Even the manager who was working that night, I went and I talked to him afterwards, and I was like, dude, what happened? Yesterday you told me it was awesome. And he's like, I'm just as surprised as you are. He was expecting me to come and sit down and play piano at 6 o'clock last night, and some chick showed up with a cello. And he was like, excuse me, who are you? Where's our piano player? So, yeah, what do you guys think? I don't know. I'm pretty fucking good at piano, so I don't think this is going to, like, ruin my career by any means, but Jasper Lodge, you guys got to do better. Come on. Like, if you guys are all about families, then practice what you preach.
Lots to consider in that video. There is a world where he was not at fault at all. I do think that is within the realm of possibility. We can start to see maybe the flaws in his thinking and maybe a level of immaturity in the way that he thinks about situations and the world. Like sharing that you turned down a job to do this, it's just not their responsibility. So looking where to place the blame, I think, is something that takes a lot of maturity to do. So that was the first one. There are like 7 parts. So we're going to get into the second part.
All right, guys, I just want to give you a little bit of an update on what's going on with the Fairmont firing me in Jasper this weekend. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just check the last video I posted. It's gone pretty viral, I would say. It's got over 200,000 views, and I just posted it last night. But anyways, I just want to make it clear, I don't think this is a reflection as Fairmont as a whole. I've been reading some of the comments, and people are pretty upset with Fairmont in general, and I don't think that is the case. I mean, I was there for 5 days. Everybody was awesome.
Oh, okay.
The management team was super friendly. All the concierge, the bellboys, the desk guys, the waitresses, everybody was so friendly. Like I said, staff were coming and giving me tips. This one guy, it was his first day. He walked up and gave me a $20 tip, and he said, "Man, you're amazing. I've never heard Metallica played like that on a piano before." And I had such a great experience. The hotel is magical. It truly is. It's in the middle of the Rocky Mountains. It's absolutely beautiful. And like I said, the staff have been fantastic. I don't think this is a reflection on Fairmont as a whole, but rather just one manager who wasn't even there, who heard that there were children singing with me and made a complaint about it. Like, I'm still flabbergasted. I don't understand. I just got off the phone with my agent, and my agent is doing everything that they can to get to the bottom of this as well. But take it a little bit easy on Fairmont, you guys.
A little
I'll
bit.
let you know. I'll update you guys as I find out more. Who knows? Maybe Fairmont comes back and they're just absolutely miserable with me. But I haven't received anything that would indicate they're going to be like that. And I would like to give them the benefit of the doubt, because honestly, it was a magical experience for me. And I think for all of the children and families who were there, they probably felt that same magic. And I'm glad that for a short amount of time, I was able to add to that magic. But it's just a shame that there was one person who had more pull than I do that took exception with it. In the meantime, if anybody's looking for a piano player for any events in like anywhere around Canada, I'm recently unemployed and I'm looking for work, so I'd be more than happy to chat with you. Just shoot me a message or comment on here. It's hard to keep up with all the comments, especially if this video takes off like the last one, but
It didn't.
I really appreciate everybody's support and all the words that I've been reading so far, and I'll let you guys know more as I know more. Thanks so much, and yeah, follow me if you want to, keep in the...
So here's the thing, right? I'm trying to empathize with people who are telling their stories online. I like to think about the motivation that they have. If I'm trying to empathize, I need to understand the ethos and the motivation and the intention of why people are posting their stories online. Why are we doing this? Because in my opinion, the motivation here is for that attention. And the reason that I've come to that conclusion is based off of his TikTok presence. He has been publishing other videos of him beefing with other companies. Don't worry, we'll watch one of those later. And he's just been waiting for this moment of virality. And I think as a content creator, of which he is, and a musician, of which he definitely is, you do kind of get caught up waiting for that moment of virality. And then your behavior starts to change a little bit to things that you never thought you would participate in. So I understand it, but it's also not good. And people automatically offering that support to somebody who definitely does not deserve it can be very dangerous. And that's how undereducated people get in positions of power, and it leads us to not great situations. Now, here is part 3.
All right, so I'm going to give you guys a little bit of an update on what's going on with the Fairmont Jasper situation, with me getting fired. If you don't know, just scroll through my videos if you're curious, if you care. I just want to clear up a couple things that I've seen in the comments. So first of all, there were no warnings. I received no warnings whatsoever. So a lot of people are commenting, oh, well, he was warned several times not to let the children sing, and he was warned several times just to play quiet music. I was never warned. My original briefing was, listen, you're going to play pop and rock music. You're going to get people kind of tapping their feet. You're going to get them nodding their heads, having a good time. Halfway through the first night, they're like, actually, we just want piano for tonight. After that, it was explained to me that I am actually allowed to sing, and although most of the people were enjoying it, there was one fellow in the back who made a complaint that my singing was too loud. No problem. Next day I start playing, I start to sing, and another manager comes up to me. There was an issue with the sound system and my voice was all distorted and it was coming crackly through the speakers. So again, I just played background piano music like they asked me to, top 40 classic rock. Alright, let's skip to Saturday. Saturday is when everything happened. So I spoke to the manager right before I went on, and I was like, guys, I need some direction. What do you guys want from me here? And the manager, whose name was Daruk, really nice guy from South Africa, cool dude. He was just like, yeah, just read the room. He's like, every night's going to be a little bit different. Some nights, you're going to be a fly on the wall playing elevator music. Other nights, you're going to be playing Bon Jovi and Billy Joel and getting, just read the crowd and go from there. Daruk's a cool dude. Daruk, if you see this, I really like you, man. Thank you. So yeah, I'm playing. Some kids come up and make a request. I play their song. They make more requests. More kids make requests throughout the night. If the kids want to sing along with the songs, who am I to stop them? Like, you guys are, they're not paying me to be security. They're paying me to be an entertainment, and that's exactly what I did. So then I actually went up to the manager that night, and I was like, hey man, I'm surprised you didn't stop the kids from singing. His reply to me was, what am I supposed to do? There was 40 of them. They would have overpowered me. And he's like, and to be honest, we got 0 complaints and everybody loved it. It was very cute and it was fun to watch. I wasn't going to stop it. Next day, a manager who wasn't even there found out that kids were singing along with my piano, called my agent, breached the contract. In my opinion, I believe it's a breach of my contract, and fired me with like no notice and not really any explanation. I still don't understand what I did wrong or what they didn't like. So upon being fired, I went back to the night manager and I asked him what's going on. And he had no idea either. He hadn't received any complaints. He hadn't said anything to her. But what I do find troubling, okay, here's the update part.
Oh my God,
I still haven't heard any word back from Fairmont. I still don't know why I was let off. They obviously know about this. I received several phone calls and emails from my booking agent asking me to remove all of the content that says the name Fairmont Jasper Lodge in it.
He didn't. And
I'm not going to do that because, like, if this is how the Fairmont is going to treat their musicians, like, I put everything out on the line to show up for this gig. I got a phone call on Monday of last week saying, we need a musician for Fairmont on Wednesday. Our musician quit. And I dropped everything. My kids have spring break. I was supposed to spend the week with my kids. I dropped everything and I went up there so that I could do them a service. I basically put my entire life on hold to go there and play for these guys because I thought, what a neat and exciting opportunity to get to sit in the Rocky Mountains and play piano for people at one of the greatest resorts in the world. And what an absolute smack in the face in the fact that, like, they've gone and turned off their commenting on TikTok so nobody can comment on their videos, the Fairmont. And here we are. It's Wednesday. I was fired on Sunday, and they still haven't reached out to me with any sort of explanation. First, they told me, we want singing, we want pop, we want rock, we want people dancing. Then it was no, we just want background piano music. We want you just to play all of those songs, but make them as boring and as dull as possible. And then the next thing I got was, you can sing, but we need to get our microphone system fixed. The PA system was all crackly and my voice was coming through strangely. So let's hold off on singing until after Easter weekend. We'll get our sound techs to come in and fix the speakers. Next thing I'm told is, read the crowd. Every night's a little bit different. Have fun with it. Never did I receive a warning. Never was I told not to do something, except for the first night. They told me not to sing because one person out of the 70 people that were there giving me applause after every single song, one person complained. I get that. Okay, you know what? But unfortunately, you can't make everybody happy. You'll never be able to make anybody happy.
There's so many fallacies.
Or should I say everybody happy? So yeah, that's the update. There really isn't much of an update at this point.
Why are you making a video?
Still an unemployed piano player.
We know why.
Hanging out in my kid's bedroom. Sweet.
Okay, so many fallacies to go through there. You put your life on hold. That's fine. That's great. You made that choice. It's not their responsibility that you did that for them. Also, you can't stop 40 kids from singing along with the song. No, you can't if you have already cultivated an environment where that is a possibility. If you were playing music that did not invite people to come up and start singing with you, or recognizable music, that would have been a non-factor. If you weren't taking requests for famous astronaut Katy Perry's Roar,
I'm a woman,
then kids wouldn't have been singing along with you. Also, only one person out of 70 complained. That doesn't mean that only one person didn't like it. People clap for things that they don't like also, okay? Maybe he was told not to sing, not because of the sound system. I mean, that could have been a problem as well. He's just also not a good singer. He's not. I'm sorry. My piano skills, probably about 25% of what this man has. He's very talented. It sounds beautiful. He's an amazing pianist. I'll give that to you. Singing? No. The last piece here is that making it sound like they only wanted dull and boring music. I think it's the difference between, did they want a piano player to add to the ambiance of the situation where it's kind of background music and you're adding to the scene, to the vibe of the experience of this lodge? Or was it a performance? Because those two things are very different. It's where the focal point is. Are people supposed to be focused on you and watch you the whole time as the performer? Or are you just a part of the space, a fixture of the environment to add to the overall essence of people going about their days focused on each other and other things? I think that's probably a really big distinction here that he wasn't able to conceptualize. But that's just what I think, and I wasn't even there. And now this is update number 4. It says update number 3, but this is technically video 4 because we're keeping things straight. We're almost done here. How many are there? There's a few more. Oh god.
All right, you guys, here's the official update. There is no update. It's Friday now. This happened on Sunday. I've still heard absolutely nothing from the Fairmont. I have heard, however, from my talent agent, Siegel Entertainment, and all they've told me is remove your posts, please, asking me to take down anything that names the Fairmont. I'm not going to do that. I mean, I understand that my contract is between me and Siegel Entertainment. Siegel Entertainment and the Fairmont Hotel in Jasper have their own agreement and their own contract. I don't know what that looks like, but honestly, I feel like I've been severely misrepresented by Siegel Entertainment. The final straw that broke the camel's back for me is on Sunday. After this happened, I called the owner of Siegel Entertainment, my talent agency, and I talked to Jackie, the owner, and she was incredibly dismissive and short. She didn't want to hear my side of the story, and just made me feel like I wasn't even worth her time of day. At the end of the call, I tried calling her back. She won't take my calls. She won't answer the phone. She wouldn't answer the phone when I tried calling her back. I think this is a huge misrepresentation. And honestly, in the last few days, I've received quite a bit of communication from other Siegel Entertainment artists with similar stories. Some about the Fairmont. I mean, the girl who was playing before me, I guess the story there is she was playing at the Fairmont Hotel. This is what she's told me, and she said it sucked all of the creative magic inside of her. It sucked her soul, and she quit with no notice for her mental health because it was so taxing working for Siegel and working for the Fairmont in Jasper with no direction, and every single day something was coming up. I received another communication about same sort of thing happening last year. It's crazy the way that these talent agencies think that they can take advantage of musicians and entertainers. It's not okay, and it's not all right. And I'm not going to be taking my videos down. I hope that now that I finally have this platform where people are watching it, these talent agencies will start representing their musicians better and treating their artists with a little bit more dignity and respect. I mean, it's ridiculous what's going on right now, and it's even more ridiculous that we're on Friday. This happened on Sunday, and I still have zero explanation. Why was I fired? Why was my contract terminated? And why was my contract breached? If I would have broken the contract, you better bet there'd probably be lawyers serving me subpoenas the very next day. So, what's going on, guys? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. What do you think of this? If you're a Siegel Entertainment artist and you've suffered similar scenarios and you're too scared to talk to me. I'd love to chat with you and see what we can do. This isn't okay. And I've got some big things happening moving forward. So, I mean, I thank God for that. But, yeah, thanks you guys for watching and being so supportive of this crazy journey in my life. I'm going to be posting a Sound of Silence video here in a couple minutes, and you should check it out. I think it's going to be awesome. I recorded it on my keyboard so you don't have like the crappy sound of my piano coming through my phone speakers. Actually, I have a great piano, but the phone speaker doesn't do it any justice. But yeah, check that video out too. Let me know what you think. Drop me some comments, drop me some likes, a follow, all that kind of stuff, and I really appreciate it.
Okay, looks like my purple light burnt out here. Just a moment. There is something to be said about talent agencies taking advantage of people. Why does an agent even exist? They get money for just connecting people, and they're the middleman. And there's a lot of things I think that are valid here to be said about the music industry in general, but I think the lens of this situation is not the way. This is something I think about quite a bit as a content creator myself. What do I want to build an audience off of? Because now he is going to be branded in people's minds as the man, as the pianist who was fired from the Jasper Park Fairmont Lodge. Pick a name, honestly, there's too many words. Now you are that person, and that is the lens of which people will see you through, which I don't think carries a lot of longevity with it. And people have engaged with your content in not a negative way, but kind of in a negative way. I don't think that's sustainable. And if that's the way that you can get attention, I guess go for it. But also, the long term of that just doesn't look good. So there are 2 more update videos for us to take a look at to really gain an understanding of the situation. And then we're going to get into his homophobic and transphobic videos and just general tomfoolery and idiotic behavior. Let's get into, what is this, video number 5? I don't know anymore. And more importantly, I don't care.
All right, so everybody keeps asking for another update. So here we go. It's been over a week now since I was fired from the Jasper Park Fairmont Lodge. And I still haven't heard anything from them. I haven't heard anything from my agent. My agent is ghosting me. They're not replying to emails. They're not replying to phone calls. Fairmont hasn't reached out. I have learned from somebody who works with Fairmont that an email went out across the entire company, like company-wide email blacklisting David DeWolf from performing at any Fairmont venues. This is what I've heard. Which is crazy.
Like
I thought this would be like a fantastic opportunity for Fairmont to step up and own up for their mistake, take accountability for their actions, and do something fun. It's obvious. Look at the comments. This is what you guys want. You guys want someone who's fun
because they don't know the story.
And Fairmont, in my opinion, has absolutely breached the contract, or if it wasn't Fairmont that breached the contract, then it's my booking agent. I'm not really
Everybody's
sure
the problem but me.
I don't know the contract between the Fairmont and my booking agent. But yeah, Siegel Entertainment, they're just completely misrepresenting me here. I haven't heard anything from them in several days. Last thing, the only thing they've really told me is take down your video. They haven't said, we're going to fight for you. This is what we're doing for you. I haven't even gotten paid for the days that I did work. Never mind the rest of my contract that they should be paying me out for. I have no idea whether they're going to pay me. I have no idea whether I'm going to have to sue them. Like, this is crazy. I can't believe that this is happening. And it's super duper public. Like, millions and millions and millions
because
of people
you
know
made
the
it
story
public.
now. And Fairmont and Siegel are talking tail and not doing the honorable thing. So that's number one. Number two, this really sucks. So a few days before my contract started with the Fairmont and Siegel Entertainment, I received a phone call from a home builder in Calgary. They were looking to hire me as a new home warranty manager. They were offering me $87,000 a year salary, company vehicle, fuel allowance. Like, this would be a game changer for me, for my family. I'm a single dad.
Then why didn't you take
kids.
it?
I can barely afford to keep the house that I've got right now.
That is your fault.
Bills are stacking up. It's crazy. This would have been really awesome, but I turned it down because I was like, unfortunately, you guys, I signed this 6-week contract with the Fairmont and Siegel Entertainment, and I can't break it. I can't breach my contract.
That's it.
Is there any chance that this position would still be available in 6 weeks' time? Could I accept it right now, but you give me 6 weeks to start? And they said, no, sorry, we need somebody to start next week. So I turned down a really exciting and amazing job opportunity for myself to respect the contract that I had with these guys. And at the drop of a hat, they break my contract, and it's like no big deal.
Don't respect corporations.
That's what's going on. Not a ton of updates, but guess what? I am partnering with a super exciting facility for children in Ontario. They saw my video and they're like, yo, you're exactly what we want.
A homophobe?
So they've offered me a 2-month residency this summer in Ontario. Stay tuned. Once I have a signed contract, I'll be letting you guys know a little bit more about that. They want someone who's going to be interactive and play and sing with the kids and get everybody dancing, and it's super excited. Good things to come. So, like, this isn't the end, but Fairmont, like, blacklisting me, seriously, for coming out and speaking the truth about how I was poorly mismanaged by your shitty managers. Come on, guys. I gave you the benefit of the doubt. I even made a video saying, like, Fairmont as a whole, this doesn't reflect on Fairmont as a whole, but now I'm second-guessing myself, and it's like, maybe it does. Because, I mean, the staff were awesome. The waitresses were awesome. The concierge was awesome. The front desk people were awesome. The reception people were awesome. Everybody I dealt with were awesome, but the managers had no fucking clue what they wanted or what they wanted me to do. And every single time I talked to a manager, I would get conflicting ideas. This is what we want from you. No, we want this from you. No, we want you to sing. No, we don't want you to sing. No, we want you to sing, but we want you to read the crowd. No, we want you to get the crowd engaged. No, we just want you to play background piano music. Like, make up your frickin' mind. And how is this my fault? Why am I getting fired? And why am I getting blacklisted from Fairmont across the entire world? Because you guys can't get your shit together.
You're behaving like you're 12.
Sorry, I'm probably one of the best piano players you guys have ever had in that
Maybe.
building.
He's very good.
And this is the way you treat your entertainment? Like, this is absolutely ridiculous. I can only imagine how you treat your employees. But thanks for checking out this update. When there's more, I'll give you more.
I guess.
That bites that you turned down that job and that would have been a game changer for you and your family as a single dad. Maybe the right choice should have been going with that from the beginning. Because why would you throw away something that would be so game changing for you for a 6-week contract? I get it. As somebody who is stuck between the corporate world and being able to pursue my passion and content creation and all of that full time, I get it. But also making choices that are conducive to you being able to still participate in the things that you have passion for and doing that in an appropriate way so you can still afford to live, especially if you have children. Come on. Okay, this is the last video and it's only a minute long, and thank God for that. This is the final update as of this recording. Let's listen to it.
All right, so a little bit of an update. I've tried calling my agent, Siegel Entertainment. I've emailed them. I've heard nothing back. The only thing I've really heard from their management is that they aren't planning to pay me out for my contract. I sent them an invoice last week, which was due yesterday. You send in an invoice, you get paid on the following Tuesday. I haven't gotten a penny. I haven't even been paid for the days that I did work at the Fairmont. So this one, I mean, this is my contract is between me and Siegel Entertainment. So I don't think the Fairmont has anything to do with Siegel Entertainment not paying out their contract. But yeah, they're not even answering my phone calls. They're not replying to my emails. And still have no explanation from either Siegel or Fairmont as to why this happened.
Don't we know that?
Yeah, that's where we're at for now. It's Wednesday, April 30th. Hopefully I'll have better news for you guys in the next update.
Interesting to me how he has repeated so many different times that he doesn't know why he was let go, when in fact he does know why he was let go. It's because people were singing along and maybe the vibe wasn't matching for what they wanted. If people posted their like personal work life drama stuff like this online all the time, I mean, I guess they kind of do. We just don't see ones with virality of this degree. It's just not possible for everybody to get this much attention when they go through a stressful situation like this. And maybe Siegel Entertainment is awful. I don't know. Maybe Fairmont Palace or Hotels is awful and all of them deserve to be shut down and, you know, like jail. I don't know. But what I do know is that this man is online spreading all of this around like actually me in middle school, except it wasn't online. It was me Snapchatting it to all of my besties. That's who this should have been too. This should have been a FaceTime phone call to one of his friends and you're outlining what happened so you can get somebody to vent with or to get perspective with or something, because this isn't going to set you up for long-term success as a pianist. I love that I've been able to say the word pianist so frequently during this video. Oof. Okay, we're just gonna go ahead and cleanse the energies into here now, because that's the story. You get to make your own judgment on that, but my judgment of why he was let go is because he is homophobic garbage, honey. So let's get into that. So this is from January 24th of this year, and the description reads, so in Canada, the month of June, which was formerly recognized as Men's Mental Health Month, has been rebranded as Pride Month. And as a part of Pride celebrations, that means schools all across Canada get to indoctrinate children with extreme liberal ideologies like the one shown in this video. I am a piano teacher and I also teach toxic masculinity. So you can only imagine my surprise when one of my students told me about that day's, it's supposed to say school, but he didn't proofread his own post, school project. Maybe the Park Lodge let you go not only because you're homophobic, but you're filming the voices of students and then posting it? That seems a little questionable. Maybe general online presence, hand in hand with current contextual behavior. Let's see how he talks with this alleged student during Pride Month.
All right, so you got sent home from school today, hey?
Yeah, I didn't sing the Pride song.
You didn't sing the Pride song. What's the Pride song?
It's a song we sing at the assembly. I can show you it if you want.
Let's hear it.
It's okay to be gay. Let's rejoice with the boys in the gay way. Hooray for the kind of man that you will find in the gay way. It's okay to be gay.
I just can't.
Let's rejoice with the boys in the gay way. Hooray for the kind of man that you will find in the gay way.
This is what they're making you sing at the assembly at school?
Yeah. But we sang it right after O Canada.
And you got kicked out and sent home because you refused to sing that.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't want to.
Man, that's brutal. What grade are you in?
8.
Yeah, that's the Canadian school system, you guys.
Yeah, that's not the Canadian school system, which is one thing. I have a really hard time believing that that would be done in any school in Canada. In order to do something, it does have to connect somehow to course outcomes in some way. I suppose you could get into like the humanities somehow and link that in there. I just don't see that as actual reality. I have a really hard time believing that. But if legitimately that everybody was made to do that and you would be kicked out if you didn't, yeah, I would see a problem with that as well. But I really don't think that's the reality. What my best guess is that peers were singing that song and they wanted that student to sing that song and he refused, and then it caused a confrontation or some sort of fight, and then it escalated from there. I don't believe that story. Maybe it's true, that's just my opinion, but I do not believe that. Let's go to the next one.
All right, you guys, I'm doing this new thing where my fans send me a little bit of info about their crush, their boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, and I write them a love song to rizz them up, because David the Wingman is the man. Anyways, this song is called Hey Elisa. This was sent to me by Tanner. Hey Elisa, Tanner told me that you're pretty swell. You kicked his butt and mini golf and ate a ball crumble cookie as well. Hey Elisa, hey Elisa.
No, I'm sorry. I can't get to that. Wasn't hateful. That was just in there because I thought that might round out what kind of person this man is. Going on TikTok and saying, hey, people are sending me information about their crushes so I can send them a song. You know, as I say it out loud, it doesn't sound so bad, but it just strikes me as weird. It does. There are so many other things that you can do as a content creator, as a musician. I don't know. It's just weird to me. And you might be thinking, well, his singing wasn't that bad. He was just obviously doing a character in that video. No, he wasn't. That's how he sings. That's how he sings. There's no control. He's not tone deaf by any means. He has a powerful voice, but it's all about the control and the inflection that I think is missing, which is usually comes in formal training. Okay, here's the next one.
Oh, Canada's getting mad.
This is what his... That's what the majority of his content is like. He just finds a video, sometimes thirst traps from random women on TikTok, and he just plays piano beside them. I don't know. I don't really understand it, but that's fine. I don't need to understand everything. Very like pro-Trump, that's his vibe. I was gonna say that's okay. It's not okay. Fascism isn't okay. And if you are so, trying to think of a more politically correct way to say stupid, if you are so uneducated as to think that's a good thing, it just shows a lack of critical thinking skills. And that's fine. You cannot have critical thinking skills, but then people who are offering support and following, like, we need to dig a little bit deeper before we support somebody. People are good intentioned, because his story sounded like something that we should be supporting his side on, but I'm not supporting his side. I'm not supporting Fairmont either, because I don't know their side. I'm supporting no one, but I'm dismantling him. Okay, here's the next one.
I've got terrible news, you guys. This is a PSA, a public service announcement. I've been sneaking into Costco for the last 15 years. This is how. I got a Costco membership the day I turned 18. I let it expire. I never, ever renewed it. I flashed my card. They let me in. I hit up all the free samples. I go and I get myself a $1.50 hot dog and I dip out. I'm not going to lie. I go to Costco like maybe 4 days a week to get hot dogs. I show up today to do the same thing I've been doing for the last 15 years. And they put in scanners. I can no longer sneak in with my expired 15-year-old membership because I have to scan it. And it goes beep, 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 beep. And this guy looks at me and he's like, bro, I've seen you so many times over the last 15 years. And he didn't realize that I had an expired card. Well, he does now. Guess what, Costco? Shit! I'm going to have to get an account again. Why are your hot dogs so good?
4 hot dogs a week for the last 15 years? I'm sorry, what? That's too many hot dogs. That's not a gay joke. That's objectively too many hot dogs. Yeah, that one was just funny to me. Why are them hot dogs so good? Yeah, it seems a little bit fake and gay if you ask me. But again, there's nothing wrong with being gay, but he definitely doesn't share that sentiment. I would also like to say that I am fully under the impression that if in his viral TikTok he looked like this, I think if the setting was the same and he looked like he does in this video, that he wouldn't have had the same virality that he did in his original TikTok. And that's not to say that I agree with people visually assessing how trustworthy somebody is based off of their visual appearance, but I think because of the way he looked and how he was groomed in the sweater, I think the visuals buy you a lot of credibility, either in a good way or a bad way, depending on what your perspective is. So I think the way he looked played into this as well. We're just gonna keep going. Some of them are real short. Let's see. What is this? Yeah, that's a jump scare.
Yo, I saw the craziest thing downtown Calgary yesterday when I was driving around. There was this dude, he was laying on the sidewalk doing the fentanyl thing, you know, like... But the crazy part, he was butt-ass naked, his cock and balls were hanging out right in the middle of the sidewalk.
That's it. That's the whole tweet. Him doing the character in that voice, that was funny. It made me giggle. It made me giggle. And I'd seen that already because I saved it. But also, this is your online presence? What? It's so stupid. I can't. Okay, what is this?
Hey guys, I got a hot tip for you. If you ever need to use a washroom at a sporting event and the men's bathroom is like backed up all the way around the arena, use the women's bathroom. It's 2024, baby. We're all trans.
It's 2024, baby. We're all trans. He's just honestly a low life is really the thing. This is another video here about him filming a student allegedly. So the description reads, "This is getting so out of hand." So this was a mandatory assembly where 10 to 15-year-olds were forced to watch transgenders, gays, and lesbians preach liberal propaganda and also endure several drag performances. This is happening in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, folks.
All right, man, so you're telling me about this assembly you had at school on Tuesday?
Yeah, Tuesday the 11th, we had a 4.5-hour assembly about Pride Month and all the gay stuff and transgender stuff.
So, like, what do you mean? So there's, like, gay
All that gay
speakers?
stuff.
Yeah, there are a whole bunch of gay speakers, there are a few
Okay.
trans speakers, I think there are a few lesbians, a few drag queens as well.
Drag queens, what were they doing? Were they speaking or dancing and singing? Like, what kind of
They
stuff?
did a lot of dancing. They didn't sing too much, but they did do a lot of speaking about how they get disrespected a lot for the way they talk.
What grades is your school?
5 to 9.
Okay, so did everybody in the school have to go to this?
Yeah,
Well-
since it was 4.5 hours, there was...
Why'd you go? Why didn't you skip it?
Because we had severe hall monitors. The teachers,
What would have happened if you would have skipped it?
I would have gone sent to the office. And
Yeah,
called them.
that's not reality. To have a 5-hour assembly, ain't no way you could keep control of however many kids together in one big room like that for 5 hours. In my opinion, I think that's completely false and made up. I do also think it was the same voice as the last one. I don't think he's necessarily been coached into doing it, but something seems off with those stories there. So this is who this man is. This is his digital footprint, and I just can't imagine why he didn't do well at Paris or Palace or Fairmont Hotel and Springs.org. What's this?
Post saying that I don't feel comfortable with the school teaching my children about homosexuality and transgenderism. The comments come flooding in. Holy smokes, you hateful bigot, you hate, you trans folk, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Guys, I don't hate anybody. Listen, I am also against the idea of a kindergarten teacher showing pornography to a class of kindergarten children. That doesn't mean I hate pornography.
That is a false equivalency, and if you actually think that's happening, sorry, you're an idiot. If he thinks that that is actually happening, and let me just say that right here, if that is being shown to anybody in a school, period, jail, electric chair, I don't know, the fullest consequences of the law. That's not okay, and that shouldn't happen. That's not up for debate, and nobody's debating that. But if you are equating sex education in a developmentally appropriate way starting in what? Grade 5 is when that starts in Alberta? That is not the same as pornography, and you do need to have a working understanding of your body and of others' bodies in order to have an actual good relationship with yourself and others when you choose, if you choose to do so as you get older. Because abstinence is not sex education. That's how you end up with a bunch of Christian pregnant teens, but that is the point of Christianity, to keep people trapped in this system so there are more people who believe in the same nonsensical spaghetti monster up in the clouds. It's all garbage. What is next?
So why don't you tell me
another
about
of
the
the
school
same.
project that you've got? What grade are you in?
8.
Okay, tell me about your grade 8
Stop.
school project that you've got.
Everybody has to make a pride flag.
Like, what kind of pride flag?
Like the LGBTQ flag, and everybody has to put it on the front of the school.
What if you say no?
You're not allowed to.
You have to do it.
Yeah.
You have to make a pride flag.
Yes.
Does it have to have like the transgender colors too, or can it just be the rainbow flag?
It has to be what's the transgender colors? It has to be like the rainbow flag.
Yeah, but with the pink like little triangle,
Yes,
it has to have that too?
It has to have that triangle, yes.
And what'll happen if you say no, I don't want to? I don't feel comfortable with that. I don't support that ideology.
I'm pretty sure you get called home.
Seriously?
Yes.
I feel like that's worth getting called home for. This is what's happening in schools in Calgary, Alberta, you guys. How do you feel about this?
I don't know.
Not a fan. I'm not a fan.
Neither am I.
Yeah, definitely coaching. Like, I'm not a fan, and then he immediately parrots back, I'm also not a fan. It does sound like the same student that's having problems in this. And being transgender is not an ideology. Also, these people have existed for forever, and you're just stupid. He's awful. Okay, we're gonna keep going. We're gonna get there. We're gonna work ourselves through a few more posts that are similar to this, and then we are going to finish with his beef with American Airlines getting schlepped off of the plane by the RCMP with his entire family. That's not me being hyperbolic. That's literally what happens in the video. But also, if this is the same student over and over, are you taking up time where you should be teaching this kid piano and you're just conversing about school and recording him and posting it and coaching him into think the same way that you do potentially? Or are you just hanging out? Is this while you're waiting for this child to be picked up by their parents? Like, well, there's a lot of like loose strings here that I just would have questions about if I was this child's parent, or just as somebody who is concerned for the welfare of others. There's some questions I would have there. That's odd to me. Okay, rapid fire. There's a few here left. Yeah, the only reason I saved this one right here is because he's licking his piano. Watch again. Yeah, he licks it so it goes up. Yeah, but the drag queens are the problem. One more time, watch him lick it. Yeah, that's David DeWolf. Okay, what's next?
All right, you guys.
Oh, yeah.
There's been some pretty concerning news coming out of Hollywood lately. Allegedly, P. Diddy has been trading fame and fortune for sexual favors from young boys, and I just wanted to say, hi, P. Diddy. My name is David DeWolf. I'm 17 years old, and when I grow up, I want to be a professional piano player. Hey, bro, I already got the van. So, hi. Hi.
Yeah, creepy, gross, disgusting, not funny, and making light of predatory behavior. There's a lot of problems there. You can say stupid things. You can. People are very forgiving if you say stupid things, even under this topic, right? It has to be funny. It actually has to be funny. It can't be I'm trying to get attention. And people can sense that, and I think that's what he's giving off here in that situation. It's just, that's what kind of person this is, to make light of that. Yeah, gross.
All right, so this is kind of concerning. Bunch of kids from St. Ambrose Catholic School in Calgary went down to City Hall to meet with Mayor Gondek with their teacher, Mr. Schaefer. And they weren't taught about politics or what it's like to be a mayor. They were force-fed a whole shit ton of LGBT propaganda. Mr. Schaefer, Calgary Catholic School Board, where the fuck were you guys standing up for these kids? Like, the reason we send our kids to faith-based schools is not only so that they can learn about Jesus, but also to shield and protect them from this disgusting bullshit. That's super fucked up. You guys have failed. What's your answer?
Not you doxing Mr. Schaefer. Like, what in the world? And also saying the school and that, and now queer issues are a really big part of politics, and you also weren't there. And yeah, I don't think most people send their kids to Catholic schools to be hateful bigots, but maybe that's the agenda of some. Okay, next.
I've unlocked my phone and I've watched the world die. They're crying to God while they run for their lives. There's blood in the streets.
Yeah, this is
in the sky. They're saying
yeah,
goodbye.
this is his singing.
Yeah, I don't understand who is good or bad. They don't
No, good. Yeah, that's rough, eh? That's rough. And it's not like you should sing. You should sing. Even if you don't think you're good, even if other people don't think you're good, if you enjoy doing it, you should do it and publish it and follow your dreams, bestie, honestly. That's definitely why they asked him to stop singing, is because he sounded like that. This one I found really interesting because he's like, drag queens are awful and the problem, but yet he's fine with doing something like this with his daughter.
Yo, so you know what really grinds my gears? Freaking dads, man. Like, holy smokes. You go to a birthday party and you got all these dads sitting there playing on their phones, talking to each other. Meanwhile, I'm getting a freaking makeover so that I can look like Rihanna. What do you guys think? Kind of look like Rihanna after Chris Brown, right? I think so.
Oh, yeah, a DV joke. If your daughter wanted to put makeup on you to make you look beautiful or like a clown or just experiment with makeup and you were comfortable enough with your masculinity to be able to do that, I think that's beautiful and great. And I do celebrate him for that. But then to come and make a domestic abuse joke is in very poor taste again. Again, it's not funny. We've heard that joke before. We understand it. It's boring and basic. Him saying like, all you dads on your phones, you're telling me this man isn't on TikTok for hours a day? He's probably on TikTok more than I am. And I have 3 accounts on TikTok. Hell, 4 accounts on TikTok. Go follow them. Or not. I don't care. This has been a long ass video. We have 4 more little short ones to look at. And then we're going to take a look with the American Airlines drama, honey. Okay, what's this?
Hips on the drag queen go swish, 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 swish.
Hey! Do you need to leave? No, bitch!
I'm not touching that one.
I don't know who that woman is on the left, but I think that's who he was filming, so maybe that's somebody that he knows. Nothing about that drag queen reading was inappropriate, so I don't see what the problem is. Okay, 3 more.
Pickle lovers out there on the world.
Oh yeah, okay, wait. This one doesn't show anything hateful. He's just talking about the McPickle, okay? That's it. Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute to laugh at this, okay? Here's
All my pickle lovers out there on the World Wide Web. Did you know there's a wicked hack at McDonald's? If you order a McPickle, this is what you get. All right, look at that. $4.15, 1 Big Mac with extra pickles. Boom. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the McPickle. Dun, dun, dun.
No. I don't, he's kind of giving like maybe a little bit of a developmental delay. I don't think that's the reality, but it would explain some things. Okay, 2 left.
Be willing to date a trans girl? I mean, is she thick?
I mean, let's be real. There's no such thing as a trans girl. It's just a dude with a good plastic surgeon. Like, no, that vagina is just a mutilated penis. No, I won't.
Yeah, so that's who we're supporting. That's who you are giving a like to. That's who you are reposting videos in support of. We need to be more critical. Okay, this is the last one and arguably the most dumb one. Well, hard to argue that.
All right, so here I am hanging out at the park. And just when I thought Canada couldn't get any gayer, I noticed the emotional safe spot bench with Wi-Fi, phone charging, and environmental data. Solar powered, of course, with
I've never seen
wireless
something
chargers.
like that. It's so cool.
It's called the Smart Bench Strawberry Energy. An emotional safe spot. Yep. I'm gonna sit here. Oh yeah. I'm feeling gayer by the second. This is great.
Does that have anything to do with being gay? Also, that's so cool that you have a solar bench that you can charge your phone on. Like, that's cool. I want those in my neighborhood. That's amazing. Yeah, and just because something is an emotional safe spot, like, we don't even know what that means in this context. Maybe it means something completely different. I don't know where that video was taken. Now, who's the snowflake? Okay, he's the snowflake. The last video that we're going to watch from this man, because honestly, I've seen way too much of his face and I'm ready to delete all of these videos off of my phone. Let's try and get an understanding of the American Airlines debacle where he, if my memory serves me right, he was escorted off with his entire family by the RCMP. There's 2 videos, it's about 10 minutes. Let's see what's going on here. I forgot that he's shirtless in this video, laying down in this video, and also has his child in it. God. So it says, my children and I were kicked off a United Airlines flight and escorted out by police on Friday. It just seems that everybody else in the world is the problem except you. Let's take a look at this.
All right, you guys, I got to do a little bit of a rant about United Airlines. I'm just wondering if anybody else has been in the same predicament. My kids and I got escorted off of an airplane
Put
the
that
other day
armpit
by
away.
the RCMP in Calgary, Alberta. This is what happened. So we were going on our family vacation, our first vacation together. My son, my daughter, and I. My daughter is a year younger than my son. We were going from Calgary
Get your
to
kid
San
out
Juan,
of there.
Puerto Rico via Denver. Our flight was at 6 o'clock in the morning. We got to the airport around 3:30, checked in, got through security. Everything was great. They call us to board on our flight. We get on the airplane. We're sitting at the back. The airplane had not started moving yet, so I pulled open my phone. I put on a cartoon for them. We were going to watch a show for a few minutes until we got in the air and were able to open up our trays where we
Nobody
had
cares about
crossword
all
puzzles
this.
and all kinds of activities planned.
It's all
Anyways,
emotional
the flight
appeal.
attendant comes up to us. She's quite rude. She demands that we turn off the sound. No problem. I turned off the sound, and then I replied to her. I said, "Do you guys have headphones that we could buy from you?" She said, "No." I said, when are the TVs in the back of our seats going to start playing? No, they do not work. She's just being arrogant and rude, and I mean at 6 o'clock in the morning. So to which I reply, "What do you expect us to do? Are we supposed to break out in song?" Then she looks at me super sternly and says, "Are we going to have a problem here, sir?"
Well,
I said no, and I shut up. I just couldn't believe her, attitude towards my children and I. Anyways, long story short, 25 minutes pass. We don't take off. Nothing's going on. I'm sitting there with the kids. We're just, hanging out and chatting with each other. Next thing we know, we get escorted off the plane by the RCMP, tons of airport security, police, everyone's waiting for us. We get taken off the airplane. We get escorted through security. The flight attendant made a complaint and had us kicked off the flight. We get told by United management, "No problem, go ahead, book another flight. Just go up to the counter. They'll try to get you on another flight. You just can't go on this flight today." The manager was extremely apologetic. My children are like in tears now. They're quite upset. We're going to Disney World at the end of this trip. We're flying from Puerto Rico to Orlando for 5 days. Anyways, we get another flight. It's nearly 12 hours later. We get through security. We sit in the airport for another 10, 11 hours. They call boarding for our next flight. Now we're going to San Juan via Houston. We get up to the counter. The lady says, "I'm sorry. It says here that you and your family are permanently banned from any United flight." We spent an entire day in the airport. They couldn't tell us this like in the morning. Nobody would talk to us. Nobody would help us out. There was nothing they could do. Their hands were tied. So long story short, I don't know, man. Like, don't make stupid jokes on an airplane. But has this happened to anybody? Is this unusual? It seems very unusual. I mean, I wasn't.
It is
rude,
unusual.
I wasn't swearing. I
because of-
wasn't yelling. I didn't raise my voice. I was on a family vacation with my kids. We were in like the best mood ever. We were so excited to be on our first airplane together. Like, this was like a huge deal for us. And it left my 7 and my 9-year-old crying in tears because we couldn't go on our family vacation. We ended up booking a flight for the next day through American Airlines. We were treated fantastically. They were great. All the stewardesses were very kind. But I mean, this is bonkers. Milo. Anyways, I want to hear from you guys. Has this happened to anybody else, or is it just us? And what can we do in this situation? Like, are they allowed to do that? I assume, yeah. It's a private company. They can say no to whoever they want, but this just seems absurd. Let me know in the comments, guys. Bye.
Do we see the parallels between what has been shared here and his original video? Like, you can't just move through life thinking that everybody else is the problem. Yes, it might have been a stupid joke. Yes, it might have been an overreaction by that flight attendant. Yes. But also it all stems back to you. You are the common denominator, David. It really blows my mind, and it's so sad. And I don't have any empathy for him, but who I do have empathy in this situation for is the kids. Because that is really sad to be growing up in this kind of situation where you're hanging out at home and your dad is laying on the couch filming videos for TikTok just exacerbating this negative situation that you probably were still a little bit sad, upset about, like missing a family vacation or being late to the family vacation. This is not normal human behavior, and he is modeling it as normal to his kids, and that's really sad and that's really upsetting. There is a part 2 to the United Airlines drama. I don't know. Of course there's a part 2. Let's see what the part 2 is.
Right, this is an update
This
for
is
all
the
of you guys
last
that
one.
wanted to know what's going on with the United Airlines fiasco from last month. Those of you who don't know what's going on, quick recap. My kids and I were supposed to go on this awesome vacation last month. We were set to go from Calgary to Puerto Rico. We were going to spend a couple weeks in the Caribbean, and then we were off to Orlando, where we were going to go Disney World, Universal, do a bunch of cool fun stuff. We get to the airport first thing in the morning. We're in the terminal. We're watching a show on my phone. I've got the volume on. We're listening to it. We board the airplane. I was going to let them finish their show while we're ferrying off. Turn the volume way down. Turn the subtitles on. I couldn't even really hear the audio. Flight attendant comes up to us very rudely, says, "Is your volume on your phone?" I don't even think she could hear it. I think she just saw that we didn't have headphones.
That makes no sense.
I looked up to her and I replied yes. And at that point she said, "Turn off the volume on your phone." And I was like, "Okay, I'm sorry." And she's like, "Put in some headphones." I said, "I don't have any headphones. Do you guys have some I can buy?" Anytime I have ever flown over the last like 15 years, they provide headphones. Usually they're free, but if not,
I don't think so.
they
I think
sell
that's
them,
wrong.
and I was willing to
I
buy
haven't
them
seen
from
that.
her. She said, "No,
I
we don't
fly
have
a lot.
headphones on this crowd." And she was very rude, very angry, and very mean, to the point where my kids were both like, "What's going on with this girl?" She wasn't loud, but she was very rude. Her tone was horrible. At that point, I replied. I was like, "Well, what do you expect us to do for 2.5 hours?
That's not her
Are we supposed to just break out into
job."
song, or however
Stop
long the
interrupting.
flight was, 5 hours, whatever it is. What are we supposed to do? Break out into song?" She looks at me. She says, "Are we going to have a problem here?" I said, "No, not at all." I was quiet. I mean, immediately she asked me once to turn off the music. She didn't ask me. She never asked me. She told me to turn off the sound. Immediately I did it. I complied. I was very compliant. I was following the rules.
It's a pattern.
I did what she asked. We sit on the airplane
I
for
don't know
another, I don't
why.
know how long, but
All of a
long
sudden.
time in silence. All of a sudden, probably at least half an hour, 45 minutes goes by. I'm assuming that we're waiting to take off. Next thing you know, another employee comes on the plane and says, "Excuse me, sir, you guys have to come with us." We were kicked off the flight. All the other families and people around were just like flabbergasted watching me and my kids getting removed from the plane. Nobody even knew there was an issue, because there was no issue. I even went so far as to try to apologize to the flight attendant as I was walking off. I was like, I am sorry if I made you feel uncomfortable. Like, I was so confused, and I'm still confused. I have absolutely no idea why we were removed from the plane. Anyways, next thing that happens is they say, "Go up to the ticket desk. We'll get you a new flight. You just can't go back on this flight."
This is the same
really
story.
Nice, really
It's
friendly.
gonna-
Okay, go down to the ticket counter. We got you on the next flight out.
If
It
you're
leaves
still
in
here.
12 hours. So we stay. We go through security, and we sleep
you.
in the airport. Me and my 2 little kids waiting all day long. Everything's good. We go to the check-in counter. I chat with the ladies at the front desk. Everything's good. Then finally, it's our turn to board. We go to board, and she scans my ticket and says, "Sorry, you guys are banned from United Airlines flights forever." And they canceled our vacation. They wouldn't do anything. And here's the problem. Like, I have no idea why we were even removed from the flight. I've tried to get a hold of United. United has not reached out. I mean, I've got a video that has thousands and thousands and thousands of views. Nobody's come forward and said, "Hey, we would like to talk to you about what happened," or "Here's our side of the story." I would love to know their side of the story, because my side of the story is, I don't know what's wrong with this flight attendant. I don't know what was up her butt that morning. I mean, I get it. People have personal lives. Maybe something happened before work, but what
It
happened
had
to
to
my
be
kids
her
and me is
problem, right?
unacceptable.
Not
It's
how
not
he
all right.
acted.
And I mean, I'm a single dad. I worked my butt off to be able to take my kids on this vacation. We have been saving since 2019 for this trip.
It's all emotional
Just like
appeal.
that. An angry stewardess ruined my kid's summer. So, that's the update. There is no update. They haven't gone
Why
back
would
to me.
they?
I've sent emails. I've sent them an entire testimony. This is
testimony.
exactly my point of view of what happened, because I get it. There's 3 sides to every story. There's my side, there's her side, and there's what actually happened. Was I irritated? Absolutely, I was irritated. She came up to me. She was extremely rude. She was demanding. She told me I had to turn off the volume on my phone. I wasn't even upset about, if she would have come up to me and said, "Sorry, we need the volume off on your phone. We don't let people watch movies with subtitles. You have to have headphones or read a book or something." If she would have said something kind and that, it would have been a completely different conversation. But she came up barking at me, to which I
tongue-in-cheekly replied, "What do you expect us to do, break into song?" Honestly, I was thinking that they were going to give us headphones when we got on the plane. I had the little headphone adapter that plugs into my phone in a little splitter. I just didn't have headphones, and I didn't want to bring my expensive headphones from home because we were going to Puerto Rico, and I just didn't want them to get lost. I didn't want them to get ruined, and I was thinking to myself, it's all good. When we get on the plane, when we take off, we'll get some headphones. They always give out free headphones. So what did I do wrong here?
Thank God we are done with him. So the last thing that we're going to do here is I just want to take a look at like 6 different Reddit comments that I found on the thread in the Jasper Reddit about this situation. And the first one reads, "As with pretty much anything where you only hear one side, there's always more to the story. You should never jump to conclusions until you've heard both viewpoints. Considering how much the situation has blown up, the silence on Jasper's end likely means they're pursuing litigation. It's because he doesn't have a good singing voice. Plus, he isn't supposed to be singing. He is spreading misinformation on TikTok. My friend's guests, friend is a server at the lounge, left their table because they can't stand his voice. I'm not saying they complaining and that got him fired. He just really sucks at singing. I looked for a video of him singing and yep, he can't sing. Great pianist though. He's in my town's Facebook group and has definitely made homophobic comments for a while. I saw his TikTok and I thought I recognized him, LOL. Wow, I was totally ready to be on this guy's side against big corporate or whatever, but with his personal context, I'm willing to bet he gave corporate plenty of good reasons to have him gone. Oh, this guy is a homophobe. If I had to listen to someone else's kids sing in a hotel lobby, that would entirely ruin the vibe for me. I'm assuming he was encouraging the kids to sing and the hotel management didn't like that. I think it's just that it went viral. Somebody probably complained and so he got fired. It wasn't the vibe they wanted. I don't think it's that complicated, but I think a lot of the times with these viral videos of people being mistreated, it's kind of giving a Karen vibe, and these people are often chronic boundary pushers. And my guess, in my opinion, is that is who David DeWolf is. I think he pushes those boundaries and he doesn't think that there will be consequences to his actions. And then when there is, he is left clueless because he doesn't know why these things happen to him, and he looks for reasons to blame other people instead of accepting responsibility. And this trend often overlaps with a culture of far-right grievance. White men framing themselves as cancelled when they are simply being held accountable. I am not here to cancel you, David DeWolf. I am here to hold you accountable. So the next time when you see something online and you want to repost it, pause. Outrage should never be immediate. Ask yourself, do we know both sides? What is this person's broader track record? And are we unintentionally uplifting someone whose values clash with ours? Because above all, compassion matters, but at the end of the day, critical thinking matters more. Thank you so much for watching this incredibly long episode of Dismantling Hate. Girls, this is my 100th episode of Dismantling Hate. So if you like this, if you like the vibe, if you like my beef jerky face, you can click on the playlist here that's going to roll on the end screen for so many other videos. Subscribe to this channel. If you made it to the end of this video, you have to tell me that you watched the whole thing because it's just outrageous. But anywhoomst, thank you for being here. I really appreciate your time and your support. Did you see this video on TikTok? Did you know this existed? I really want to know what you think. Am I reading into it too much? Is it okay that he's homophobic? In my opinion, absolutely no, but sometimes people disagree with me and that's fine and that's good and I'm willing to hear it. If you want to follow me on Instagram, david.they. I don't have any videos with 4.5 billion views. I don't even have any video. No, I do have ones with 4.5 thousand, but not 100,000. So go follow me on Instagram, david.they, and I will see you in the next one. And until then, goodbye. Yeah, I literally now have to go to McDonald's and get a McPickle. McPickles for everyone. It was just the way he said it. McPickles for everyone. Me when I'm a McPickle for everyone. Holy shit. This was long, but it was good. Okay, bye.